The words you're about to receive carry the architecture of timeline shifting embedded inside of them. This is the same principle Walt Disney used. He spoke his future into the empty air of an orange grove every single day. The belief that suffering is required, that struggle is noble, that ease is somehow unearned or suspicious, gone. Welcome to the Reality Revolution. I'm your host, Brian Scott. And today's activation is the greatest timeline activation. Usually I do these activations behind the camera, but we're doing it in front of the camera today because I want to transmit something deeper. I want to carry a frequency within you that creates your greatest timeline. Let me take you back to July 1953, Anaheim, California. A man in his early 50s stands alone in the middle of a 160-acre orange grove. The trees stretch in neat rows in every direction. The air smells of citrus and dry summer dust. The only sounds are the distant hum of the Santa Ana freeway and the occasional crack of a falling branch. The man wears a simple suit. His shoes are caked with dirt. He's been walking this same patch of land every day for weeks. The local farmers who sold him the property think he is strange. The bankers who turned down his loan application think he's delusional. His own brother, who manages his finances of his company, has begged him to stop, wasting time on what looks like an obvious failing idea. The man keeps walking the field anyway, and as he walks, he begins to talk. He gestures toward an empty patch of dirt where two orange trees lean against each other. He says aloud to no one that the castle will stand there. He describes the spires. He describes the shade of the blue the topmost turret will be painted. He describes the way the late afternoon sun will catch the gold trim. He walks another 50 feet and stops at a curve in an irrigation ditch. He says aloud that this is where Main Street will begin. He describes the cobblestones. He describes the wrought iron gas lamps. He describes the smell of fresh popcorn drifting from a shop that is yet to be designed. He walks toward the western edge of a property and steps in front of a single ancient oak. He says aloud that here, just past the oak, the riverboat will dock. He describes the sound of the steam whistle. He describes the wooden planks underfoot. He describes the music a banjo player will perform from the upper deck on summer evenings. The man is Walt Disney, and the field he is walking through will 2 years later open as Disneyland. This is the part of the Disney story that very few people know. The technique he used, the thing he did every single day in that empty orange grove that everyone around him thought was insanity, but that he understood as the actual mechanism of bringing the park into existence. He walked the future timeline before the present timeline had caught up. He was already inside the version of his life where Disneyland existed. He could see it. He could hear it. He could smell it. He could hear the music. He could feel the texture of the brick on Main Street through the soles of his shoes. He could hear children laughing on rides that had yet to be engineered. He moved through the orange grove as the version of Walt Disney for whom the park was already finished, already operating, already welcoming 6 million visitors a year. And the present caught up to him. Construction crews broke ground in July of 1954. The park opened on July 17, 1955. Within 12 months, Disneyland had welcomed 3.5 million guests and turned the bankers who refused him into men who would spend the rest of their careers asking each other how they had failed to see what Walt Disney saw, standing alone in a field of citrus trees, talking to a castle that had yet to be built. This is the technique. This is the whole technique. Walt Disney was merging with the version of himself who already lived on the greatest timeline. He was inhabiting that future self in the present moment. He was speaking from inside a reality that had already happened, even though the calendar said it was still becoming. Every great life ever built was built this way. Every breakthrough that ever moved from the realm of impossible to the realm of obvious moved through someone who first walked the future timeline, while everyone else stood inside the present one. And this is why this activation exists, because the same mechanism Walt Disney used to walk into a future that had yet to arrive is the mechanism you're about to walk into yours. The recording you're about to hear has been carefully constructed using specific language patterns, frequency-aligned principles, and techniques drawn from quantum physics, Neville Goddard, and neurolinguistic programming developed by Milton Erickson and Richard Bandler. Every sentence has been designed with intention. Every word carries a frequency. Every pause has been placed where the subconscious mind needs space to absorb. The words you're about to receive carry the architecture of timeline shifting embedded inside of them. The cadence has been tuned. The phrasing has been calibrated. The sequence of phrases has been arranged to mirror the natural progression by which subconscious minds accept, integrate, and act on new programming. All you have to do is listen. All you have to do is allow. The activation is built into the structure of the words themselves, and as you receive them, the structure begins to install itself in your field, with or without your conscious participation. This is the same principle Walt Disney used. He spoke his future into the empty air of an orange grove every single day, until the certainty of his own knowing reorganized the field around him. The repetition was the installation. The conviction was the carrier. The frequency was the lock. This is why the activation has been structured in this way. This is why every phrase has been tuned to the specific mechanics of timeline shifting. And this is why by the time you reach the end of this recording, something fundamental about the version of your reality will have changed. Settle in, receive, and allow this. I've already begun this activation. This stands apart from meditation. This stands apart from affirmation or visualization. This is a direct activation of the timeline in which your greatest life already exists, already operates, and is already yours. The version of reality where every dream you have carried, every future you have imagined, every expansion you have ever felt pulling at the edge of your awareness has already manifested fully and is being tuned into your experience through the words you speak in this moment. This is different. This reaches past the current reality and tunes your field to a version that is already complete. There's nothing here to construct. The version is already there. The only movement is alignment. Reality is about to change. The only decision left is whether you allow yourself to continue. If you prefer to remain on the timeline you currently occupy, just stop listening right now. If the version of your life you are currently experiencing feels acceptable, complete, and exactly as you wish it to, stop listening now. If you have no wish to shift into a reality where your purpose is fully active, where your relationships are rich and alive, where your finances are abundant and flowing, where your body is vibrant and strong, where your creative expression is pouring into the world with ease, where your days are filled with meaning and your nights are filled with peace, stop listening now, because if you continue past this moment, if you keep receiving these words and keep allowing them to land, you will be activated. The shift will happen. There's no neutral ground here. Your timeline is either the one you're currently living on or the greatest one available to the version of you that exists across the entire quantum field. The gate only swings one way. Step through or close the recording. You've already stepped through. The process is now alive. The activation is unfolding. By the time you reach the final words of this recording, you will exist in a completely different dimension of reality than the one you occupied before you press play. This is frequency mechanics. This is quantum architecture. This is the exact mechanism by which consciousness collapses wave into particle and selects which version of reality becomes lived experience. The shift happens at the level of field. Your body will continue its outward motion. The calendar will continue its march, but the version of reality your nervous system is tuned to will have been replaced by a finer, higher, more aligned frequency, and the outer world will begin to rearrange itself around that new tuning, starting within the next few hours. The dimensional change is precise, permanent, already underway in the field, which means your outer life is already being redirected, though the outer evidence is still catching up. This is already underway. In this moment, you stand at a crossroads. One path is familiar. You know every step of it by heart. It is the path of watching your calendar fill with obligations that drain you. The path of checking your bank balance with a tightness in your chest. The path of wondering when the breakthrough you've been waiting for will finally arrive. The path of feeling the pull of a larger life and then spending the day on tasks that have nothing to do with it. It is the path where you go to sleep with a faint sense that something is missing and wake up the next morning promising yourself that today will be different, and then find yourself by evening in the same pattern, the same loop, the same quiet dissatisfaction. It's the path where the dreams of you carried as a younger version of you gradually got filed away under the word someday. And someday became a shape at the far edge of your attention that you stopped walking toward. You know this path. You could walk it with your eyes closed. You've been walking it for a long time. The other path is different. On this path, your purpose is clear and fully operational. The work you do matters to you and flows through you without resistance. Your relationships are alive, honest, intimate, and joyful. Your home feels like a sanctuary. Your body moves through the world with ease and strength and health. On this path, the abundance moves through your life the way water moves through a river. It's always enough. There's always more than enough. Money arrives from expected sources and unexpected sources, and you handle it with grace, generosity, and a quiet sense of amusement at how much of your old worry has simply evaporated. On this path, you wake each morning with a sense of forward momentum, a certainty of direction, a quiet joy that exists before the day has even fully begun. The tasks that were once obligations become expressions. The appointments that were once drains become opportunities for real exchange. The hours that were once survived become hours that were actually lived. On this path, your nervous system has stopped bracing. The chronic alertness that ran underneath your old life has dissolved. Your body has begun to inhabit each moment fully, because each moment is finally yours. The exhaustion that came from living one life on the surface while another waited underneath has lifted. Both lives have become the same life. On this path, you are the person you have always sensed you could become. You are the version of yourself your future self has been waiting for. You are the version of yourself your past self prayed for without knowing exactly how to ask. This version is real. This version exists. And this version is standing on a parallel track to the one you currently walk. Broadcasting a frequency your nervous system has always been able to receive, waiting only for you to tune in fully enough to step across. The choice between these two paths was made the moment you pressed play on this recording. You've already chosen. The activation is already underway. All that remains is for you to keep listening, keep allowing the frequency to rise. Quantum physics tells us something the ordinary world refuses to show you. Every possible version of your life exists as a wave of probability in the quantum field. Every choice you have ever made, and every choice you've ever declined to make, created a branch. Every branch still exists. Every branch is still running. Every branch is still yours. The version of you who took that job, the version of you who built that business, the version of you who moved to that city, the version of you who wrote that book, recorded that song, healed that wound, met that person, lived that life. All of them exist. All of them are broadcasting. All of them are you. This is the conclusion the Everett Many Worlds interpretation of quantum mechanics arrived at in 1957, and the conclusion Yakir Aharonov arrived at through his work on retrocausality, and the conclusion John Kramer advanced through his transactional interpretation. The mathematics demands the existence of parallel branches. The mathematics refuses to permit a single deterministic track. Reality at the quantum level is plural. You have never needed to create any of these versions. They have always been there, waiting in superposition, held in the field like stations on a radio dial. The only thing that determines which version becomes your lived experience is the frequency your consciousness is tuned to. The observer collapses the wave. Attention is the tuner. Feeling is the amplifier. Identity is the lock. This is why the Walt Disney story matters. Because on a series of summer afternoons in 1953, a man stood in an empty grove and walked through the version of his life where Disneyland already existed. He tuned his nervous system to a future frequency. He spoke from inside it. He moved through it, and the present timeline reorganized itself around the frequency he was holding until the field had no choice but to deliver the matching reality. The signal was always there. The version of his future where the park existed had always been broadcasting. He simply tuned to it deliberately, fully, and refused to drop the tuning even when every external circumstance suggested he should. The same mechanism Walt Disney used in 1953 is the mechanism that will give you your greatest timeline beginning today, with intention, with deliberate focus, with the focused resonance of a nervous system that has decided without reservation to tune to the frequency of the version of your life where everything you came here to be, to do, and have is already present. You are never manifesting something new. You are remembering something that has always belonged to you. Your greatest timeline is currently broadcasting in this instant as these words enter your awareness. As the field begins to respond, that frequency is present in the same space your current timeline occupies. The two never compete for location. They occupy the same air. The difference is entirely a matter of which one the nervous system is aligned with. You are a walking wave generator. Your body is an antenna. Your heart is a tuning instrument. And in this moment, you are tuning fully, completely, irrevocably to the greatest timeline available to the soul you are. Before the frequency can fully lock, certain inherited programs must be decommissioned. These programs have been running in your field for years, in some cases decades, in some cases since long before you were born. They were installed by family, culture, institution, experience. They were never chosen by you, and they're being retired now. They are retired calmly, surgically, without struggle, without debate. The way an old program is uninstalled from a system that has outgrown it. The belief that the greatest version of your life belongs to someone else, someone luckier, someone born into different circumstances, gone, dissolved. The belief that your window of opportunity has already closed, that you waited too long, that the best chapters were supposed to begin earlier, and somehow you never did, dissolved. The belief that you would need to dismantle your entire present life before the greatest timeline could arrive, gone. The belief that identity is fixed, that personality is destiny, that who you have been is who you must be, dissolved. The belief that timeline shifting is fantasy, that parallel realities are fiction, that the version of you who has already achieved everything you came here for is a wish rather than a presence, decommissioned. The belief that the past has too much weight to release, that previous failures are permanent evidence, that the evidence file is closed, dissolved. The belief that suffering is required, that struggle is noble, that ease is somehow unearned or suspicious, gone. The belief that you have to know how before the shift can begin, that the path must be visible before the first step can be taken, that certainty must arrive before movement is allowed, forgotten. The belief that the field requires proof of your unworthiness, that abundance must be earned through visible hardship, that receiving is somehow separate from deserving, dissolved. The belief that anyone else's timeline has anything to do with yours? Forgotten. Every one of these programs is being retired now. They were installed without your consent. They are being removed with your consent. The operating system of your consciousness is being wiped clean of the legacy code that prevented the greatest timeline from coming into focus. Your field is clearing. The interference is dissolving. The signal is becoming pristine. What remains once the legacy code is gone is the version of you that has always been there underneath it, luminous, capable, already whole, aligned with the frequency of the greatest life available to you. That version is stepping forward now. What I want you to do is see your future self standing before you. Close your eyes if you need to, and see your future self standing before you. Take a moment to truly see them. This is the version of you who has fully arrived on the greatest timeline. The version of you 5 years from this moment or 10 years from this moment. At whatever distance your soul is pointing toward, the version of you who walked every path, made every choice, spoke every word required to bring the greatest life fully into being. They are standing in a place of light, a space that feels both familiar and vast. The air around them carries a quality of warmth and stillness that signals something important is about to happen. Because something important is about to happen. The two of you are about to become one. Notice how they carry themselves. There's a quality of stillness in them that you recognize immediately, even though it feels new. Their spine is long and easy. Their face is soft. Look at the light around them. There's a radiance, a frequency, a field of coherence that surrounds them. Look into their eyes. You will find something there you may have never seen in your own reflection. A certainty, a calm, a joy. They know who they are. They know what their life is for. They know that every day is an expression of a purpose that is fully landed in the world. They see you. They recognize you. They have been waiting for this moment. They are wearing the clothing of the life you are about to live. Notice what they wear, the texture, the color. Feel how different it is from the clothing you're currently wearing. Notice their hands, strong and capable. Notice their voice when they speak your name. They begin to walk toward you, slowly and gracefully, each step closing the distance. And when they reach you, they open their arms, step forward, step fully into them. Let your body pass into their body. Let your mind pass into their mind. Let your heart pass into their heart. Let your field pass into their field. Feel warmth spreading outward from your chest. Feel light filling your spine. Feel a deep sense of expansion as their memories begin downloading into your awareness. It's happening now. That feeling you have, I just activated. You activated it. You remember the years of building a life you're now living. You remember the quiet decisions. You begin to remember what they remember. The relationships, the work, the health, the abundance. You remember the first small signs. You remember the months that followed, the pace of change. You remember the way your body feels. All of these memories belong to you now. All of these memories are installed. When you see them, they're not visualizations, they are memories. All of these memories are yours. Their frequency is your frequency. Their identity is your identity. They are no longer just something in the distance. You are no longer becoming. You are. There is no gap, no distance, no waiting. The merge is complete. Every cell in your body now carries the signature of the version of you who has already arrived. You are your future self. The future self is you. There is no separation. There is only frequency, and that frequency is locked. Receive these declarations with me. Let each one land. Let each anchor. Say this with me out loud. I live fully and completely on the greatest timeline available to the soul I am. This is my reality now. My purpose is clear, active, and expressing through me every single day. This is my reality now. My work flows through me with ease and carries value into the lives of everyone it touches. This is my reality now. My body is strong, vibrant, and filled with the living energy of a soul that has chosen to fully inhabit its life. This is my reality now. My relationships are rich, honest, joyful, and built on the frequency of mutual expansion. This is my reality now. My mind is clear. My focus is sharp. My creativity pours through me without obstruction. This is my reality now. Money moves through my life with ease, from expected and unexpected sources in amounts that match the scope of my life I have come to live. This is my reality now. My home is a sanctuary of peace, beauty, and coherent energy. This is my reality now. Every person I meet, every opportunity I encounter, every door that opens arrives on the exact timing of my greatest timeline. This is my reality now. My days are full of meaning. My nights are full of rest. My hours are aligned with the rhythm of my soul. This is the reality I live in now. The abundance I carry is generous, overflowing, and endlessly replenished. This is my reality now. The peace I carry is deep, unshakable, and rooted in the certainty of having arrived. This is my reality now. The love I carry flows freely to everyone I meet and returns to me 100-fold, 1,000-fold. This is my reality now. The power I carry is calm, grounded, and expressed through every action I take in the world. This is my reality now. I move through the world as the version of me who has already arrived, because I have already arrived. This is my reality now. I am living the life my future self once dreamed of. I am the answer to the prayers of every earlier version of me. This is my reality now. The frequency is locked. The cascade is sealed. Every declaration has been installed at the level of the field. Every word is landed in your nervous system and taken root. The architecture is complete. Bring your attention into your body. Feel your chest. There's a warmth spreading there, a gentle pressure of expansion behind the sternum. This is the physical signature of the greatest timeline arriving in your field. Your heart is recognizing it. Your heart is welcoming it home. Feel your shoulders. They are dropping. The old weight you are carrying has begun to dissolve. The muscles that were bracing are softening. The body is releasing the posture of a life that was always pushing, always holding, always waiting for something that had already arrived. Feel your spine lengthen. It is lining itself with the vertical axis of the new timeline. Every vertebra is settling into position. Feel your hands, the energy moving into you, the field of the greatest timeline pouring through the meridians of your arms and gathering in your hands, ready to shape, to create, to offer, and receive. Feel your breath. It is slowing, deepening. It is the breath of someone who knows at the cellular level that they are safe, they have arrived, that the life they came here to live is already underway. Feel your face, the tension around your eyes softening, the jaw unclenching, the forehead smoothing out. Your face is rearranging itself into the expression of the version of you who has already come home. Feel your belly, the deep center of your body calming, the old knot of anxiety that lived there for so long dissolving, releasing, turning into simple warmth. Your core is becoming quiet, strong. Feel your feet rooted into the ground beneath you. They carry the weight of a body that has stopped running, stopped chasing, stopped reaching for a future that has already landed. Your feet are planted in the soil of the greatest timeline. They are home. Every cell in your body is recalibrating to the frequency of your greatest timeline. Every organ is tuning, every system coming into coherence. The body always knows and follows the frequency. The body knows what you're feeling in this moment is the physical evidence of a shift that has already happened at the level of field. Your body is the proof. Your breath is the witness. Your heart is the seal. This activation is crossed from the mind into matter. The frequency now lives in your cells. Every inhale deepens this installation. Every exhale releases the old. The transfer is complete. Your body has received this. The timeline where you lived without purpose is collapsing. Not slowly. In this instant, the timeline where you wondered when the breakthrough would arrive is collapsing in this instant. The timeline where your potential remains unexpressed is collapsing in this instant. The timeline where your relationships were distant and your days were heavy is collapsing in this instant. The timeline where your bank account produced anxiety and your calendar produced exhaustion is collapsing in this instant. The timeline where you carried the weight of old wounds, old disappointments, and narratives about what was possible for someone like you is collapsing in this instant. Every one of those timelines is being consumed. Your awareness has been removed from them, and what the observer removes awareness from ceases to exist as lived reality. This is the Neville Goddard principle at the level of quantum mechanics. The field only sustains what consciousness continues to observe. Every setback you've ever experienced was never a detour. It was the bridge of incidents leading here. Every delay you ever faced was never denial. It was preparation. Every moment of confusion, every period of waiting, every stretch of time when the path seemed unclear was the field organizing itself around this exact activation. This exact recording, this exact moment of tuning, every person who walked away was clearing the room for the ones who belong on this timeline with you. Every door that closed was the field redirecting you toward doors that open. Every loss was a subtraction of weight you were never meant to carry into the next chapter. Walt Disney faced years of rejection before the field finally caught up to the timeline he was inhabiting. Every banker who refused him, every studio who scoffed, every relative who advised him to stop was part of the bridge of incidents leading him to July 17th, 1955. The rejections were the architecture, the closed doors were the design. None of it was a setback. All of it was momentum disguised as obstacle, moving him toward the timeline he had already chosen. The same is true of every chapter in your story that once felt like a failure. The same is true of every period of waiting. The same is true of every door that closed before you could reach it. All of it was leading here. All of it was preparing the conditions for the greatest timeline to come into focus. The old timeline served its purpose. It carried you here. It delivered you to the threshold of the greatest timeline. It is collapsing, being consumed, dissolving into the memory of a reality that once was and is no more. The greatest timeline is the only timeline now available to you. Every path forward leads through it. Every door opens into it. Every choice you make from this moment onward is made from inside it. You have stepped through. You have landed. You have arrived. This activation is now embedded in your field. It requires nothing further from your conscious mind. It will continue operating beneath your awareness steadily, silently, without interruption for as long as it takes for every exterior circumstance of your life to come into full alignment with the greatest timeline. While you sleep tonight, it will work. While you move through your day, tomorrow, it will work. While you speak with colleagues, walk through your home, drive through your city, sit in quiet moments, it is working. The alignment will continue without any effort from you. It is done. Opportunities will arrive, people will appear, doors will open, pathways will clarify, ideas will drop in, money will move, relationships will deepen, health will strengthen, meaning will rise, peace will settle. You will begin to notice the evidence within hours, small shifts at first, a sense of lightness where there was heaviness, a sense of clarity and ease, and then larger shifts, significant events, obvious redirections. A phone call will come, a message will arrive, a person you had stopped hoping from will reach out, a door you had stopped knocking on will open, a payment will clear, a decision will resolve, a piece of the architecture of your greatest timeline will slide into place, and you will recognize it immediately because the signature of this activation is already installed in you. Some of what arrives will be expected. Much of what arrives will surprise you. The field has a creativity beyond what the conscious mind is able to predict. Trust its creativity. Welcome what shows up. Follow the clear signals. Move when you feel moved. Rest when you feel rested. The timeline knows how to deliver itself. Whether you notice the activation running moment by moment or whether you simply notice the accumulating evidence in your outer life, the installation is complete now and the frequency is locked. From this moment forward, you carry the signature of the greatest timeline in every cell of your body, in every word you speak, in every decision you make, in every room you walk into. The signal is permanent. The tuning is stable. The field is responding. The old timeline has been released. The old timeline is gone. The new timeline has been locked. The installation will run on its own. Receive it, embody it, live from it. A man walked through an empty orange grove in the summer of 1953 and inhabited a version of his life that the calendar said had yet to arrive. 2 years later, the calendar caught up. The same mechanism, the same field, the same quantum architecture that delivered Disneyland into the world has delivered your greatest timeline into this moment. The only difference is that you did it with intention. You did it with focused awareness. You did it with focused resonance of a nervous system that has chosen fully and without reservation to tune to the frequency of the life you came here to live. The shift is real. The installation is complete. The field has responded. It is done. It is done. It is done. Welcome to the Reality Revolution. There is a version of your life where everything you have been reaching for arrives, where the money flows, where love opens, where your body heals, where every step carries the frequency of the self you were always meant to be. That life exists, and the path to it has been 8 years in the making. This July, the Reality Revolution comes home to Anaheim. 3 full days of teaching, meditation, and timeline activation. 9 complete sessions designed to move you from the life that you're living to the life that is waiting. Activate your pineal gland, meet your higher self, quantum jump into your greatest timeline, enter the bliss body healing state, step into the flow of large sums of money, open fully to love, shift to a higher density new earth. Friday night, the community celebrates together. Saturday evening, a special appearance from Daryl Anka. And by Sunday evening, you walk out as the version of yourself your future self has been waiting for.
I knew I had to be in the room because it's different from like listening to the meditation videos online.
It was really getting into yourself and how you feel and your timelines.
It's time at the event, and it really is. It's wonderful. So I would highly recommend to anyone, if you get the opportunity to do it, absolutely do it. It really is amazing.
The Reality Revolution live in Anaheim, July 24th, 25th, and 26th. Hilton Anaheim, 3 days that will change the trajectory of your life. Claim your seat at www.brianscottlive.com/Anaheim.